Welcome to today's session on paid search. I'm Luke Mason, Client Services Representative here at Oneupweb. Been with the company 4 years now.
Thanks, Luke. And I'm Duncan White. I'm the Director of Client Services here at Oneupweb, and I'm a 10-year veteran of the company. We're looking forward to talking with you now about paid search in social media, and let's dig right in.
Okay, today paid search marketing really extends far beyond Google. You know, it's social and it does deliver. So today, a few of the networks we're really going to cover are going to include Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Yeah, obviously these are the big three in social media right now. Not a tremendous number of other paid search opportunities, and these are ones that are going to deliver traffic.
So to really put paid search in social media in perspective, it's important to look at kind of some of the trends and stats within the industry itself. Advertisers are really on pace to spend $3 billion in 2011 across social media networks. And when we're talking about social media and paid search, it's a little bit different from search marketing. It's maybe more closely related with display in that you're using demographics and interest to target individuals rather than capturing that demand through keyword searches.
Yeah, and there will be a couple mentions of keyword searches, and that'll primarily come up when we talk about YouTube today. Yes. So there is an opportunity there. The big thing about paid search in social media is the precision targeting options. There's going to be a wide array of options, and each of the three networks we're going to discuss will give you sort of a different set of variables that you can tweak as you look at that.
So let's get right in. Let's start with Facebook. So understanding Facebook, what's possible? Let's just review some of the quick facts with Facebook at this point. Really have more than 650 million active users, and 50% of those users are logging on each day. Moreover, the average user really has 130 friends, so as we really dig into this advertising, you'll see what kind of reach your individual ad can get when an individual user actually engages with one of those ads, and what kind of extended reach that's going to offer.
Yeah, as far as socializing, and that's the topic is PPC and social today, that's the big thing about Facebook, is it's probably going to get you more leverage for your click-through because people have so many friends and people interact so much. You know, I know that YouTube itself is a social environment, but I'd say even LinkedIn probably has a little more social interaction than YouTube itself does.
Yes. So digging into Facebook advertising, what you can really do is you can promote your website, excuse me, you can promote a Facebook page, an event, a group, or an app. So there's really kind of a few different things you can do with Facebook.
Yeah, and everybody's familiar with all of these things. If you use Facebook, you're being invited to events. You know there's apps out there, there's groups, these kinds of things. So, you know, what will be a theme as we go through the discussion of these three networks today is know what you want to accomplish before you get involved. That's going to help dictate when you get into Facebook as to whether you're going to target a group or an app, or where you're going to go with it. Other things that you're going to want to think about and that will persist as we talk about the three networks today is what kind of advertising budget do you have? How long is your campaign going to go? A lot of these decisions on what success will look like are going to help you decide what to do as you get into each of these networks.
Definitely. So let's look at what does really a traditional Facebook ad look like? Well, you have a 25-character headline. You do have the destination URL. There's no URL that's going to be displayed in your ad. One of the great things you have is an image, so that's going to really play an important role in click-through rate. It is finding that right image that's going to resonate, should be bright and stand out. That image is really smaller. It's about 110 by 80 pixels.
You got it. And so let's talk about where Facebook ads appear. Marketplace ads are the most typical ads that people see. Are displayed on the right-hand side of the page. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. You may see up to 5 of those marketplace ads as you're in Facebook at any given time. You may only see 1 or 2. It really just depends on you as an individual user. How much have you shared about yourself? If you've shared a tremendous amount about your likes, dislikes, your relationship status, your career, those kinds of things, you're probably going to see more ads than other people because people can turn the dials to make you a target.
And one of the things that's so valuable about Facebook, as we've touched on, is it really offers a unique targeting set. It's going to range from location to demographics to likes and interests, in addition to what we'll touch on is connections.
Yeah, so pick that up right there. When you put an ad in Facebook, it doesn't just go Facebook-wide. it's really going to be specific, and we're going to cover a few different ways that you can target that ad. And the first one that we want to talk about is geo-targeting.
Yeah, and with geo-targeting, you can target a country, you go up to 25 countries. You can target an individual state, a province. You can actually get right down to the city, whether it's an individual city or you want to also include surrounding cities. You can use radius targeting as well.
Yeah, and that radius targeting is going to let you hit those major metros where we all know that there's smaller bedroom communities and cities that attach to those bigger cities. So, you know, if you want to hit central Texas or north central Texas, I should say, you're in Dallas, you're in Plano, you're in Arlington, you know, don't just set it to Dallas, but draw a radius around that group, because all of the people that live in that area may be potential customers for you.
Yes.
And let's move on to demographic targeting. And, you know, the long list of things that you can do, turn the dials, turn the knobs, and again, know what you want to succeed with. Demographic targeting will run from age to sex to language and education. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about birthday targeting.
Yeah, I really think the birthday targeting it's really a unique opportunity. You consider how many Facebook users there are. There's going to be a number of birthdays each day, and being able to offer kind of that unique engagement to somebody on their birthday can really kind of build that relationship and push it even further.
Yeah, and you know, if I'm a personal example of it, but I know I love to log in on my birthday, or I love to talk to my friends about what happened to them on their birthday on Facebook. A lot of people, you know, just giving you a shout out. You're in a good mood on your birthday. Who knows? Maybe grandma sent you a little check or something like that. Maybe you're ready to be a consumer. So a fun way to target, and I don't think that we can do targeting like that anywhere else on the web that I know of.
And moving on, you also can target by interests, and these are really what Facebook users are listing in their profile, and it could range from music, books, television, right through political views and religion. So again, another really unique opportunity when you truly understand your market, your audience. It can really become powerful when you combine it with these kind of demographic targets that you can leverage.
Yeah, look at the personas that you've identified as those people that can become your ideal customers. And two, you know, not everybody goes into Facebook and sets all of these likes and dislikes and lists the movies and books and television and games. But you know what? Those people that don't go to that level, they may not actually be the active users as much as people who are willing to share so much.
Yeah. And moving on to connections, you can actually target based on connections. This is really unique. And what you can do is actually target users who are already connected to an existing Facebook page, event, group, or maybe an app that you've promoted. You can also then target users who are not already connected to that page, which would be the obvious. And finally, you can target users whose friends are connected to that. So this is where they already know you can use existing connections to almost kind of upsell and really expand your reach to grow your group's presence, your fans, what other kind of advertising method you're really looking to leverage through Facebook.
Yeah, I love that last option there, targeting friends. It's, you know, in Facebook, if you see an ad and you can see 3 of your best friends are already fans of this page or have already interacted, you want to join with them, and there's a strong likelihood that you're going to get involved there. So this is another sort of unique way that you can target in Facebook.
Yeah, there's been a number of groups when I've been on Facebook, friends, I've been looking at groups. For instance, I'm a big fan of The Wire, and I know I've had a couple friends who have joined a group, and of course it's been promoted on me, and without hesitation I jumped right in there when I saw a couple of my friends were on that. So just a great example.
Let's get into a little bit of the obstacles in Facebook advertising, and really when we think about obstacles, sometimes there's opportunity there. Well, what the opportunity here is to refine your campaign. And just like we talked about, setting your goals, knowing what your budgets are, the duration of your campaign, what success is going to look like. You got to know what success looks like so that you can go in and finish things up and make things work better. Luke, talk a little bit about some of the things that you're going to want to do with your Facebook advertising campaign to make it more efficient.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing you want to do is really understand who your audience is, because at times you'll not be able to identify that specific audience. As you know, when you start to pick audiences and groups, you'll have a specific number, an estimate of that total audience size. And what you may find is there's really no audience based on what you're looking for, or the audience is too small. So it's going to be important that you kind of create those campaigns that are specific and break them out. Also, you'll notice with Facebook advertising, you'll see something which it's often referred to as ad fatigue. And ad fatigue is when you first launch a campaign, you're going to see a tremendous number of impressions right out of the gates. And you'll slowly see that number perhaps go down. And what that means is a lot of those users you're targeting, they're seeing your ad multiple times and they've either chosen to engage or ignore the ad. And so that's where you see that number. So it's going to be really important that you keep your ads fresh and you completely are reintroducing new ads, ad headlines, creative, things like that to really avoid that ad fatigue. You need to be active in your ad testing just like any other paid search channel.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about search engine optimization and marketing here at Oneupweb, but this is the same kind of thing with Facebook. You know, if you've got a search engine ad out there that's not performing, Google is really just going to kind of get rid of it. I mean, people aren't even going to see it anymore. Nobody's clicking through, and the same thing happens in Facebook. So one of the beautiful things about Facebook is you do have an ability to put that small image in your ad. That may be the one thing that you want to change. You know, carefully make your changes as you go forward to see what's going to work.
And as I touched on the low click-through rates you're going to see, it's important that you keep those ads fresh because part of your quality score determining what your cost per click is the performance of that ad.
Yeah, and again, if people are seeing the ad, you're not paying for it. They only pay on a per-click basis, but people won't see the ad if no one's ever clicking it. So go from there. So let's talk a little bit about budgeting for Facebook. What kind of budget do I need to get involved in Facebook PPC?
With budgeting, it's really low barriers to entry. The minimum spend for the ad marketplace is really $1 a day. And there is a premium ads option when it comes to Facebook. A lot of times you'll see that's going to start more or less around the $30,000 investment, and those ads are going to appear on the Facebook homepage. So when I first log in to Facebook and I see that news feed that's running down, those ads running across the side in the lower right, those are premium ads, and they really kind of offer more of an engagement with your audience. You can do polls, interact directly within that ad without navigating to a separate page.
Yeah, it was interesting. Right before we got live here, I was checking Facebook and checking some last details, and I only saw one premium ad on my homepage. But when I clicked to my profile page, there was a strong 5 ads there, a few refreshes, and I saw the same thing. So I don't know if this is a sign that advertisers are really moving more toward the marketplace ads. A pretty significant investment to get started on the premium ad side. Expect changes. That's one thing we know about Facebook is it's going to constantly change. Beautiful thing is, though, is that there's a low barrier to entry now, and you can get involved. And before we jump over to YouTube, I want to talk a little bit about, where might you want to drive an ad on Facebook? And that's part of the consideration of what you want to do and what your success and goals are. You can take your click away from Facebook, or you can keep your click inside Facebook. You really want to think about those things and what's going to be most useful to your user at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point because oftentimes if you're going to generate traffic within Facebook, as we touched on with the ads, you can actually see which individuals are already fans of that event and group. But the other thing is you can think of it as a double lead strategy. So if you're sending users to a custom Facebook section, tab, landing page that you've created, you can kind of have that call to action to receive something else. So not only are you gaining that fan, but there's going to be also an additional engagement you can offer. So I think that's a great opportunity and a great way to really kind of improve that engagement again compared to traditional paid search.
Yep, define your goals. Remember, a lot of parts of social media are building your brand, giving you an option to have more people following you, creating a conversation with your clientele, giving the love to those people that really love your brand so that they're willing to share it even more. So when you're setting up those goals, be a little cautious of going straight to a pay sort of per click to a purchase kind of ROI. One of those things you really want to think about is you want to take them out of the Facebook environment. They just logged into Facebook. They may want to stick around for a while. So work with your strategist to figure out what's the best approach and start testing.
Absolutely. Let's switch gears and move on to YouTube. YouTube, again, offers another opportunity to really has a paid pay-per-click platform with a unique audience, a very active audience similar to Facebook.
Yeah, jumping in on some of the quick facts about YouTube, and hey, these things are probably growing right now, but we're looking at 98 million unique visits each month. It's the 4th largest audience on the internet. It's the Google of video search. I've heard people say YouTube is actually the #2 search engine.
Yes.
You know, people think about Bing and Yahoo together now, but really there's, people go to Google and then they go to YouTube to find a lot of the things as to what they're doing. YouTube is structured in ways that could give you different verticals of videos. And you're going to find out here in the next few minutes that there's some pretty sophisticated targeting tools. And we're not too surprised about that because this is a Google-owned property, and Google has done a fairly good job with Google AdWords in traditional pay-per-click.
Yes. And there's really kind of two areas you can target your ads when it comes to YouTube. You can promote your content on YouTube, or you can advertise next to content on YouTube. And so when we're talking promoting your content on YouTube, we'll dig into each one of these a little bit deeper, but you can do promoted videos. You can do TrueView video ads. You can create a brand channel to promote within YouTube. You can actually do a homepage takeover or target homepage display ads on YouTube to reach a tremendous audience. When you're advertising next to the content on YouTube, you can target those partner watch channels. You can even target individual videos, specific videos that you want to target your ads to. And also an important note to make is on mobile. There's a lot of users accessing YouTube on their mobile devices, and
Absolutely.
so it's a great opportunity to reach that audience as well.
Yeah, so let's go through that just a little bit one more time and stay on those two options. YouTube, hey, it's a video search engine. You can promote your video on YouTube and make sure people click it and see it. You're a musician, you're a comedian, you're trying to break out there. Put that special video that you worked so hard on and make that the actual thing that people click. But again, you don't have to promote a video. You can just have a regular ad rolling in YouTube. People click that ad, you can take them to a .com, you can take them to a lot of different places. So it's not, you don't always have to have a video up your sleeve to go out there and advertise on YouTube. And hey, if you don't have a great video up your sleeve, you might want to think seriously about whether you want that to be the ad itself.
Yes. So kind of shifting gears back to targeting options. You can really target based on the audience, and you can also target based on content or the contextual targeting. And when I say audience targeting, again, we're getting into more similar to Facebook, the demographics. So running from age and gender to geographic region, location, to language. Again, there's going to be interest categories. And you'll also actually see you can target by user type. Some Facebook users are going to identify themselves as a video uploader, so they could be a director, they could be a musician, as you touched on, that comedian, even politicians you'll find on YouTube. So again, some unique targeting options.
Yeah, I mean, audience targeting, know who your audience is, know how far you want to stretch it before you get out there and you actually start going after it. Now too, some people are going to be logged into YouTube, and so YouTube's going to have their history. They may see, kind of a different layer of ads than people who aren't logged into YouTube. Keep these things in mind. And just like you would do in regular search engine marketing, don't extend your keywords beyond what it is that you actually do. Don't reach too far. You're going to get clicks, but it's probably not going to convert. So, stay fairly tight at the front end of what you're doing so that you're having success before you start to reach out farther.
Yeah. So switching gears to content targeting. Content targeting is going to be a little more closely related to what you'll see on AdWords and Ad Center, in that you can actually target searches that are being done in YouTube. They're going to be contextually based, so they're not going to be necessarily, you're not going to be bidding on keywords like exact and phrase match. And going on, there's also going to be matches that can be made when you're looking to promote your video based on the video category and content packs. So there's really more than 1,000 different categories you can target. Those categories could range from sports, such as baseball, or they could get more specific on business and individual topics within business.
And one of my favorite things is, you can pick an individual video and put your ads on that. If you know that there's a video out there that's, somewhat related to your products and people are watching it all the time, I mean, hey, you can look right on YouTube and see how many views that video has had. Put your ad on that specific video. Again, you can really micro-target what you're doing here. And I think, this is probably going to be for those brands that can withstand a bigger investment in marketing, but to dynamically target videos that have a lot of buzz around them right now. Quick action there. Something's going viral, jump on it. I don't know who wants to associate their brand with Charlie Sheen videos, but, a lot of people are looking at them. So, those are your marketing options.
So let's dig a little bit deeper into promoted videos we touched on earlier. With promoted videos, the great thing about them, they are affordable and scalable. You can really kind of promote quite a few different videos. And again, we mentioned they're based on those contextual searches, those keyword searches that are being done in the YouTube search box. So you can create your own video content and promotional text to go with that ad as well. You're going to see a quick, short video clip, and you'll be able to add that description in your feature as well.
Great thing about promoted videos, you're not paying for the impressions. This is a pay-per-click session, and we're talking about pay-per-views. So people will watch your video, or at least they started watching it. Hopefully they stayed through the whole thing. You've got to make a good video if you're going to go this route, and then you'll have to pay. But if it's just seen in the ads, you won't have to pay.
And so if you're interested in seeing a couple examples, you can check out the slide here. We kind of highlight an example of those promoted videos. You can see just exactly what format and how they appear. There's really kind of a static clip, that intro clip. I know you can choose what exactly that is when you're creating your ad in the account.
Yeah, I mean, the example in the slide is about organic lawn care, and I think that's something a lot of people care about. We're in springtime, finally up north here, we're in springtime, and when people go out there, they want to see, here's a how-to, or here's a company that can come in and get this done for me. So that video could be, very instructional and maybe a lot more powerful than just putting an ad in YouTube and driving them to your .com. They may want to stay right in this environment.
Yeah. And moving on, another option, we'll kind of roll through a few of these options, YouTube TrueView video ads. These are going to be more closely aligned to those in-stream and in-slate ads. So with this ad format, there's kind of plays a pre or mid-roll across the ad down below, and after 5 seconds of the ad viewing, a user really can choose whether they want to continue with the content or watch an ad. And you're only charged if your ad is watched completely through the entire 30-second, 15-second, however long your ad is.
Yeah, so again, this is where you need to have a strong video. They're going to see the first few seconds of it, come out bold, make sure that they stick around and you get the message across, and then they're going to return to whatever video it was that they started with to begin with.
Yeah. And the other option really alongside in-stream is the in-slate, and that's really with longer video content, 5-10 minutes. It's kind of more like traditional advertising commercials, and what happens is the ads will pop up and a user can choose whether they want to watch ads every few minutes of the content like traditional advertising, or they can actually select from a list of ads that they would like to watch. And again, you're going to be charged if that's watched all the way through.
You got it. And getting a little bit outside of the pay-per-click realm with YouTube, but we're going to talk about brand channels. If you look at the slides, you'll see Oneupweb's YouTube channel, and you'll see how it's customized there. If you're going to bring people in and have them watch a video, make a nice surrounding there so people sort of get the impression of your brand. You can sit there with the stock YouTube background, but here's an opportunity to take it to the next level.
Yeah, and again, you can leverage promoted videos to really advertise your brand channel and multiple videos that you do have available.
Absolutely.
One of the other options is the homepage roadblock. This is really a unique option. It may require a little more of an investment, but you can overtake YouTube's homepage for 24 hours. And you could really see a tremendous amount of traffic. YouTube, the homepage really averages around 50 million impressions or more. 18 million unique visits, so 18 million of those are unique visits to the the YouTube homepage. The ad formats are going to be a little more interactive, rich media style, so there's going to be a lot of creativity that can be involved in how you want your audience to engage with that ad.
And bigger brands are probably going to get associated with this. It's not going to be cheap to take over YouTube's homepage, and you may even want to say, create that as part of your marketing mix, but have a more extended run into the content side and video promotional side itself.
Yes. And so again, you can target, there's partner watch videos that you can target. Those are more or less content partners of YouTube that are uploading videos regularly. They've really grown a following, and they could be individuals or they could be recognized brands such as National Geographic.
Sure. Now, you can also advertise next to content on YouTube, and this is where you don't necessarily have a video out there. Maybe you're going to run an ad at the bottom of a video. A lot of people use YouTube. I'm sure you've seen it. There's some little advertisement at the bottom, and it may have a little bit of motion to it. It may just be an announcement. Users have the option to click away from that and make the ad go away. So make it compelling. But in this case, you don't need to have made yourself a video to get active with YouTube.
Yes. And one of the other options we touched on was mobile, YouTube mobile. And YouTube really offers kind of a homepage takeover when it comes to mobile. It's a 24-hour homepage roadblock ad. It's going to be a little more engaging, as I discussed with the rich media ad. And there's roughly around 7 million visits per month. And so that really is going to translate more or less to 250,000 unique visits per day if you're looking for that YouTube mobile homepage takeover.
Powerful stuff. So is YouTube going to break my bank? If I want to get involved with PPC and social media, can I choose just YouTube, or am I going to have enough budget just for Facebook? We're going to talk about LinkedIn in a minute. How do you create an integrated strategy here? But Luke, talk a little bit about some of the costs and who can get involved with YouTube.
Yeah, with YouTube, it's again, low barrier to entry. It really can suit just about every budget out there, but YouTube caters to the large spectrum of advertisers, from small to mid up to the Fortune 500. That said, as I mentioned, really no specific budgets at this point for starting, but it can go all the way up to $250,000 minimum for some of those other options that we discussed, such as a homepage takeover.
Like Facebook, look for big changes coming to YouTube. A new CEO over there at Google. They're going to do more things that they can possibly do to start monetizing YouTube. YouTube's become a powerful player in our lives, watching it on our mobile devices. A lot of people like video, so expect more to come. And again, be ready with your strategy before you get involved.
Yes.
LinkedIn, let's go.
LinkedIn has become really kind of another great social media network that you can leverage pay-per-click on. And you can really kind of target your audience in a unique way. It's a network of professionals, so let's kind of take a quick look at who uses it, what's possible, and again, what's the investment going to be?
Yeah, LinkedIn these days is pretty hard to ignore just because of the sheer amount of traffic that's there. Jury's still out on whether it's the greatest advertising opportunity, but with 1.5 million C-level executives on LinkedIn, 5.5 million high-tech managers, millions of small business owners involved. These may be your target audience, so this could be a good place to go.
Definitely. And what you could really describe it as, it's more of a business-oriented social networking site. And traditionally, I know a lot of people think of LinkedIn, it's where you go on when you're looking for a new job.
Exactly.
You have an online resume posted on LinkedIn, so.
And LinkedIn's done a lot to, I think, try to become more social, status updates, those kinds of things, following these types of other aspects. It really is a social network. Is it just for people looking for jobs? That's a consideration you have to make when you put your marketing mix together. The reason we're talking about PPC and social today is because there's opportunities in online marketing beyond Google and Bing and Yahoo, and you need to have a good, solid mix of all of these things if you really want to be concise in what you're going to accomplish.
Yeah. To dig right in, when it comes down to targeting, again, you can really target users based on the company size, a job function, a specific industry, seniority, gender, age, and geographic, like other networks, but company size, job function, industry, that's really some unique information that you don't always know when you're advertising. So to a degree, you can target those decision makers. Are the C-level execs the one who are really going to be making the final say on the products, on the service that you're looking to really kind of promote?
Yeah, and the whole targeting world in LinkedIn works a little bit differently than it does in AdWords or in YouTube or even in Facebook. So, whoever's going to set this up and run it for you, you've got to know who your customers are. You're not going to be able to drill in quite as far, but if you pay attention and really look at what your opportunities are, you can really fine-tune.
Yeah, and the one thing similar to Google's partner network out there, LinkedIn actually has an extended audience network that you can choose to run your ads on. And a few of those, for example, are going to be the New York Times, Business Week, CNBC. So you kind of have that professional audience. LinkedIn is really focused on developing those partner sites that really kind of coincide with the network of business professionals.
Yeah, and I think it's a shrewd move on LinkedIn's part to do this. They've got to extend their reach and get those ads out in those other places. So this is a switch you can turn on and off, see how the performance goes before you make final decisions on what to do with that.
Yeah. And the LinkedIn format, it's going to be a 25-character headline. You're going to have a small image as well, 50 by 50 pixel image, a little bit smaller than the Facebook ad. About a 75-character description, you'll see a display URL. And as far as where those ads can appear, they can really appear in a few different places.
Yeah.
There's going to be other display advertising options. within LinkedIn, but you're not going to be certain as to exactly where your ad's going to appear.
Yeah, and like anything else, when you get into the pay-per-click realm, when you get into the display advertising realm, budget, sometimes you can come in and really muscle your way. You may have a little more assurance about where your ads are going to show up if you're well budgeted in LinkedIn. If you're a small player, we'll talk about what kind of budgets, but you can get in for as little as $10 a day in LinkedIn. If you're coming in at that level, you may not expect to see your ads in that many places. Hey, they may be at the bottom of the page. But again, if you're getting impressions, that's great. And if you're getting clicks, then it's all about where you take those people as to whether or not it's going to be worth your while to do it.
Yeah, and then like any dynamic auction-based advertising platform, it's really going to depend on where you're going to position is the existing performance, historical performance of your ad as well. So that's just going to encourage active ad testing again. You really want to rotate multiple ads in there to understand what messaging is really going to resonate.
Yeah, and getting back to budgets, again, LinkedIn made some great decisions, I think, to really lower the bar so a lot more people could get involved. I don't know if they had to wait for their software to get caught up with that. Initially with LinkedIn, you had to be a very well budgeted advertiser to get into the game. So small, but you can also go big and go into the whole world of really start taking over, creating banner ads and those kinds of things. I think we're going to see more of these coming from LinkedIn.
Yeah, there's really kind of some unique options if you do have that budget you're looking to allocate to LinkedIn. Those could really range from sponsored LinkedIn answers to customized polls. You can do partner messages where you actually are delivering unique customized messaging inside of the inbox of LinkedIn users.
Yeah, so a lot of things to think about when you get in here, a lot of things to track and see that are successful. Go to our slides, and you're going to see more about where your ads will show up on LinkedIn, some of the different options there. And it's been really wonderful having an opportunity to talk with you guys about pay-per-click and social media. It's really exciting. Again, a 10-year veteran in the online marketing space myself. It's just thrilling to see these new opportunities coming up, and two, knowing that all three of the networks we talked about today are going to keep changing. So have some expertise before you get involved.
Yeah, and one of the key takeaways, really understand that each one of these networks has a unique audience along with unique targeting features. So definitely don't overlook either of these channels when you're pulling together your marketing mix.
And if you have questions, give Luke or I a call.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.